Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer 2 Battle Replay. This one is a community cast sent in by PinkelsZ, or PinkelsZ, or maybe just PinkelsZ. I'm not sure. But thanks for the replay. So, this is Skaven versus Vampire Co. As I mentioned a few times, it's kind of a tough matchup. It's a bit tricky. Yeah, your plan can be unraveled pretty easily. But, as you can see, he's going with the double assassin Skrulk. Sort of goon squad that I brought against Indie Pride and Sotek in Turin's Flash Tournament. I think it's a good one, honestly. I think all the debuffs you can get, and the constant sort of trophy heads and things, it helps you kill very, very scary things pretty well. But yeah, I'm got it paused, by the way. This isn't because there's any Vanguard shenanigans. No, it's just to point out how Skrulks stink, permeates time. I think I mentioned this in a replay a long time ago, but I just find it really amusing. Like, he smells so bad, not even stopping time can stop the stink. So anyway, we're going to speed things up a little bit. So, yeah, I always find that amusing. So, yeah, what are we doing? Yeah, I remember, a replay. I'm awake, don't worry. Lord Skrulk. So, lead Bubonicus, great for nuking lords and heroes. Frankly, any sort of hero spellcaster that the Vampire Coast have, you can basically kill it with a single lead Bubonicus. They are flimsy as hell. Also, it's great just to get that burst damage on to something like a Mongol Haunter, because they have the hunger, so they're going to keep healing up. And that sucks. So if you can just get a load of burst damage on it, you can get it to crumble a lot quicker. So you need Liber Bubonicus here. You really do. And yeah, frankly, the assassins getting trophy heads on it, like, they can goon something like that fairly quickly. But even then, they can sometimes survive it. It is nuts. They are so resilient. So it's very scary. So anyway, this is a good goon squad though. I like it. And here, so there's a couple of units that I haven't really tried so much yet. I've tried a few custom battles against AI, utilising them, but I haven't seen them on ladder yet, which is Poison Wind Globadiers and Rat Ogres. So Rat Ogres I think might be a good shout, just because they're going to be able to deal with Mongols a little bit better. They have the mass to sort of block them in place, so the Mongols aren't going to send everything flying. So I think matched up with some just like Clan Rat Spears maybe, I think they do okay. There's no Clan Rat Spears here, of course, but I think they're good to sort of stop that advance of Mongols. So I think that might be a nice plan. I think that's a good idea. But they are low armor, so they could be very weak, just gunnery mobs and things. So you've got to be careful with them. You need to just have them sort of play defensively. Have them strike when you need them to, I think. Also here you can see Plague Monks. So Plague Monks, they're going to kill the fodder very, very fast, thanks to their anti-infantry bonus. So the plan here, I think, is to get through the fodder as quickly as possible, and then you're in good stead. And then the Poison Wind Globadiers can focus down anything big. And there's enough of them that one can't get just singled out and killed, and then you've lost all your, anti-large. So I think this really helps. I think it's going to be good. I think this is an interesting build, but I think it's still very weak to sort of a Mongol rush and cannons. If it's just a lot of cannons and a lot of Mongols, I think you're still in a position where Skrulk might get sniped out by cannons, and then they can move on to the Rat Ogres. And yeah, just the cheap guns can do a lot of damage to things like the Plague Monks. The Plague Monks are so vulnerable to missile fire, and that makes it pretty difficult. So I think there's still some weaknesses here, but I think that's going to be the case with every Skaven build. I think you're going to be rolling the dice regardless. But I like this build. It's got some good ideas, and I think it's got all the bases covered. But, obviously, it's all very short range, so you've got to really just get into the enemy as quickly as possible, while some of your guys are playing very defensively. It's a weird mix, so it's a difficult one to micro, I think, but it's a cool build. I like it. So now we're going to talk about the other guy's build. So, the Vampire Coast here. He's got some Scurvy Dogs. I think they are a great pick. Scurvy Dogs are very good for chasing down all those fleeing units. And you don't need a lot of AP or anything, usually. They can get some good work done. Also, there's some Fellbats to jump on any artillery or anything, because you see, there's no artillery in this army. No, he's gone with like a Depth Guard build, which is very, well, unexpected, frankly. The Depth Guard, very reliable, very good. They can heal up in melee, especially against cheaper units, and since the habit is to go very wide, Depth Guard could do some good work, and they got enough armor that, slinger spam might not be able to get through them particularly quickly, so they're pretty good. They do get countered by things like Death Runners quite heavily, but I mean, they're still very good units. Here you can see there's some gunnery mobs as well. The gunnery mobs don't need anything too fancy. Just the standard gunnery mobs. Low AP, but it doesn't matter because things like Rat Ogres or Plague Monks or Plague Monk Center Bearers or anything like that, it's all very low armor. So you don't need to go, fully in with a load of very expensive stuff. Also, Silostra, so a load of summons on Silostra makes it very difficult. Fog of the Damned to lower combat effectiveness. And actually, they brought Vangeist's Revenge, which I think is very fun. I don't think it's worth it against Skaven, unless they go for like an entire line of Storm Vermin or something, which I haven't tried yet, I must say. I haven't tried that yet, but I want to try that at some point. Anyway, but yeah, I think it's a fun spell, so why the hell not, right? Other than that, it's just a load of fodder. There is the Tide of Skjold, which have perfect vigor, which is bizarre for a zombie, but, you know, it's all good. But yeah, so just a load of deckhands, basically. These guys will actually... they'll do pretty damn well just against clan rats. They'll hold out for a long time against the cheaper infantry, and that allows the depth guard to just kill one thing at a time and move on to the next. They can move on to the their next target before the first sort of deckhands has been cut through. So it's pretty cool. Oh, also nope. Sorry, that was just that glowy thing. I thought that was a purple glowy thing like it has for the Regiment of Renown. So I thought, oh, another Regiment of Renown. It's not. Anyway. Also, yeah, here, deck droppers with handguns. I think great, just have one as insurance against, what are they called? Doom wheels. So I think it's kind of nice. I think that's a fun idea, if you don't have a load of just guns, So, pretty cool. So, Skaven, moving up a little bit. And you see the Plague Monks, they will cut through these guys very, very quickly. But not so quickly against the Depth Guard. They will not do so well there. Oh, also in the back, you can see the little symbol up here. A lot of people have been asking. That just means that they have their, what is it, abundance of powder, I think it's called. So that'll disappear once they're below 80%. That's just to indicate they are getting the bonus damage. So, yeah, it's worth mentioning, because a lot of people have asked me. So, it's good to know. So anyway, here you can see the Rat Ogres. They're just taking some cheap fire. Here, beautiful use of Scorch. That's right, Scorch, very good. Wait, is it? No, Pestilent Breath. Is that right, or is it any Pestilent Breath, I think. Either way, good use of whatever that was. Yeah, you can get these guys to crumble very, very quickly with cheap spells like that. So if it's the handgunners, that you're afraid of or something, you can kill them just as quickly. So it's very, very useful. Anyway, here you can see the Rat Ogres with their low armor. They are getting harassed by the gunnery mobs, as I expected. But he's got enough clan rats to be able to, get on top of these guys. Unfortunately, the Depth Guard are getting through, taking almost no damage. And here, he saw it coming. He saw it coming, so he's moved out of the way, so almost no damage. And yeah, complete whiff, which is incredible. So over here you can see Rod of Corruption has been used on the Depth Guard, which is going to be very, very good for killing them. Also the deckhands mob are going to suffer horribly from it. The Assassin's still just lying in wait, waiting for Silostra to get in and do something. Elite Bubonicus has been cast on her, and there's no Law of Vampires in this army, so there's no healing. So that's going to stick. And now the Assassins are coming for her, which is going to hurt a lot. So a lot of summons coming in of Plague Monks and Clan Rats. It's always good just to summon more and more fodder while Skrog is still alive. He hasn't been, singled out by anything. So the Rat Ogre's suffering, again, from just some cheap gunner fire. But, it's good to have them come in and get some good AP onto these Depth Guard to try and get them to crumble, because it's a real nuisance. And frankly, Skrog fighting them, I mean, it's risky. They hit really hard. But he does have that great discouraged thing, when he hits in melee. It's like minus what, 16? Is it? Let's have a look. Minus 10. Contaminated, not discouraged. But yeah, minus 10 leadership, so it helps to make things crumble. So it's actually pretty good against the undead. So anyway, over here you can see a bit of a fuss over here. There's zombies all up in everyone's business. But these Poison Globadiers are able to get some shots off. They don't have a lot of very juicy big targets. I mean, Silostra would be a good one. But, yeah, she's keeping out of the way, which is wise. So at the moment, it's basically just systematically just killing a few bits and bobs. You can see the Skaven player is keeping very high and tight. He is not letting the Vampire Coast get into anything juicy, even with the hounds and things running around, like those scurvy dogs. Alright, they did get in a bit. But he's keeping it very tight. He's being very reactionary, which is often a difficult thing to do against the Vampire Coast with the amount of guns, but he's using spells and summons to shut down the back line. They can get that cheap damage into valuable things like the Rat Ogres, and then he's just using, he's just focusing on one thing at a time while holding everything back with cheaper units. It's working pretty well. I really like this. So here the Rat Ogres are charged in to deal with the deckhands mob. There was some Depth Guard there that they managed to finish off, which is brilliant. That AP has really helped. They are struggling a little bit, but they're getting through them, which is good. Poison Globadier still lying in wait, not able to get great shots off a lot of the time, but they are getting some shots into the Depth Guard, and probably a fair bit of friendly fire here, but frankly, just get damage on this stuff, because if you're not getting friendly fire, the Depth Guard is going to be healing through all this combat, and you're going to lose just as many of your own men anyway fighting Depth Guard, but this has got them to crumble, which is pretty damn good. So now, is that another Rod of Corruption? It is. That's really going to help just tip them over the edge. And it's going to make these guys suffer. So Silostra, she's been, running around trying to avoid the Assassins. And they've had to pull out. And they're going to pull back around. Because the Tide of Skjold just keep chasing them. And keep just trying to just pin them down, frankly. So they can't keep the chase up. So the Assassins are going to be coming back in. But right now, apart from just a couple of just cheap gunnery mobs, there's not really anything left. Oh, there are some scurvy dogs coming back in, my bad. But at this point, everything has kind of been dissected, and because these Poison Globadiers haven't been shut down yet, they're just going to kill anything that comes near, you know. This is really bad for Silostra. She can't afford to wade into the fight and help, you know, Song of Enthrallment and things like that, because she's just going to get killed, because these guys are just too good. 3 units all shooting into one target, they'll do so much damage. Unfortunately here, though, they're trying to hit the bats, and it turns out bats are very, very, very difficult to hit. So these handguns are probably the best thing for getting rid of these Globadiers, and unfortunately, he just hasn't been on them for long enough. He's trying to chase off these Rat Ogres, but he really just needs to take out these Globadiers. He really does. So here, one of the assassins has got to Silostra, and you see she has been Liber Bubonicus again, which is devastating. And now, you see another Van Geist Revenge, but the Skaven are running out of it, and that just wiped out one of the gunnery mobs, which is pretty spectacular and quite funny. So, also, are we seeing trophy heads yet? Nope, not yet. He's waiting a little bit. Wants to get all his other guys in. There we go, there's the trophy heads. And now, massive goon squad. Skrulk and his 2 assassins coming for Silostra. Very, very scary. And now, everything else can just run in here. A huge amount of fire on these handguns. Unless they're being microed a lot. You know, if they're being microed at all, they dodge everything. But if they're not, they're going to suffer from just the weight of fire from these guys. It's very scary indeed. So, Silostra, she managed to get out again. There's a load of bats here. But we'll see the Rat Ogres are going to run in here and deal with the bats. I mean, he could have probably kept the chase up on Silostra, to be honest. You know, with Trophy Head, she's not really going to hit much. And I think you can afford to just keep chasing. But he wants to keep high and tight. So it's a cautious move. And yeah, I think it's worthwhile in the long run. But it can be over a lot quicker if you do just charge in. So here you can see the Rat Ogres are charging into the Fell Bats. And army losses beginning to hit. And yeah, Trophy Heads on Silostra. She can't get involved, really. She's not going to get any work done. So she's just been gimped this entire time. And unfortunately, the Vampire Coast player here just wasted so much of his Winds of Magic on spells that were avoided. That's the thing. You know, things like Van Geist Revenge, devastating if it hits. But if it doesn't, then you're just wasting Winds of Magic. So there we go. She dies, and that is a Pyrrhic victory. So, I mean, I like both of these builds, but I think this Vampire Coast build, it needed Mourngulls. I think if there are a few Mourngulls in there, I'm not sure PinkelsZ could have done it. I think the Poison Globadiers, their anti-large would have registered, which would have been nice. I don't think anti-large bonuses are negated by missile resistance. I think that damage is sort of true damage. It hits regardless. So so for something with missile resistance, having a missile thing with anti-large, you can still get a lot of damage in. So for that reason, I think Poison Globadiers might actually be a great counter to Mourngulls. I haven't tried it yet, but I want to. I think that could be really worthwhile. So I think this build can counter a lot of the usual things, but I think you're still going to struggle if Vampire Coast just go full on with the guns. You know, just have a load of gun lines, just have a load of, you know, gunnery mobs in the front line, and then a load of cannons or mortars or whatever in the back. You know, Silostra using Spiteful Shot on the artillery. Yeah, I think you can get a lot of work done. I think it could be very, very, very scary. Yeah, I don't think there's a single Skaven build that can just beat any Vampire Coast build. I think there's always going to be something that counters it. But I think this is really good. I think this has a lot of potential. Because frankly, the Rat Ogres can stop the Mourngulls from advancing. The Assassins and Skrulk can deal with the, you know, the sort of the heroes and lords, which I think is very valuable indeed. And yeah, I think the Plague Monks, so long as they don't get just shot to pieces by cheap fire, you know, if they can go in with the Clan Rats, use them as cover, these guys get enough damage in that they can actually kill a lot of this stuff very, very, very quickly. Or they can just gang up on Depth Guard and actually get some good work done against them. So I think there's a lot of potential in this build. So PinkelsZ, I like this. I like your thought here. But cannons are still going to be a problem, I think. Which is the one issue with it, I think. But other than that, yeah, you've got a lot of bases covered, and I like what you're thinking. So yeah, definitely worth showing this to everybody, because you might be onto something. So, guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.